if you look at 30 years back. GCCs were basically competing with the software services industry.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. And firstly, congrats on the Standards India expansion. It's an interesting time to be building
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
So Mo, let's just start with that bit then, the GCC bit of how I think you're positioning this as more than a back office GCC. So my question is, so what are the core capabilities that will actually be built and owned from India?
So we are starting off with technology, though the center has been set up with the idea that it will become a microcosm of our overall organization. Right now, it's technology. Even within technology, as you rightly said, it's not a back office. So our plan is that there will be joint ownership. To enable that, we are starting with a two-in-a-box model. So, say for example, our key focus areas would be software engineering, AI-based platforms, data and analytics, and in any of these areas, all of these areas, there will be a joint ownership. So we are starting with a very deliberate attempt of making it a two-in-a-box model. So there is a leader in US, there will be a leader in India. They will own each of these, right from decisioning strategy to delivery. So everything will be co-owned. Co-owned, it's not that every piece of delivery will be co-owned. When it comes to delivery, maybe one side is responsible for one particular area, another side is responsible for another area. But then the strategy, the ownership of the overall outcome, that's jointly owned.
Okay, got it. So which brings me to the next question of, so the India team is closely integrated with the global business, but also operates locally, right? So how do you strike the balance between autonomy and global alignment?
And honestly, we look at this India setup as an extended enterprise. And so if it is similar to, say, we have an office in Mumbai and we have an office in Delhi or in Bangalore, it's exactly the same thing. Or for, say, standard US, if it is an office in Portland with an office in Dallas, it's the same thing. Just because there is a time difference, border, a country border, that is not changing anything. So there's a very close connect. It's not that, okay, once a day there will be a connect. Because many a times, when we started this GCC, that was right. We were very happy if there was a daily agile connect and there was Scrum meetings happening once a day. For us, it is not that. For us, the leadership or even the teams, it's a very regular meeting. There are very regular discussions, and technology has made it easy, right? You don't have to think twice to pick up the phone and talk, given all the facilities that we have. So having said that, it's a complete seamless process. We haven't even thought of the fact that, okay, how will we collaborate, because there is a border in between. So right from the intent, from the beginning, even before we set up, the intent was exactly that. And as I said, we have been very deliberate about it. And when I say we, I was the first employee who joined, right? So I will have to give it to the global leadership also, that that's how they started. That it's not a delivery center. Let's never call delivery center. In fact, we don't even use the word GCC. In Indian industry, GCC is a commonly known. We identify ourselves as GCCs because there are some guidelines, the regulations, etc., which kind of identify as GCC. In the organization, we don't call ourselves GCCs, we don't call ourselves SGS, we call ourselves the Standard India. So it is that level of integration.
Got it. And so would you say the India office would take care a chunk of the tech capabilities for the company as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. So see, the standard right now is, for the last 3 years, has grown with a lot of merger and acquisition. So what has happened is lots of different systems have come in. So there is a huge bandwidth requirement, capability requirement, knowledge requirement, talent requirement in order to make it all seamless. And then on top of that, add the need to digitalize and come up with all these new emerging technology requirements. So what was the primary driver, or one of the primary driver was the talent that is here in India. So if you look at it in a very simple term, it is growing scale, growing the organization with the right set of talent. So assuming if the same set of talent existed somewhere else, it could have gone. But given that India is the talent center and India is known for it, it has been set up as an extension of the Portland office. So that's the way we are thinking.
Got it, Mohua. So, okay, so along the journey, I'm sure there are a lot of even challenges that you face. So, can you just talk a bit about the challenges that you faced while building this India Center so far? That's one. And also looking at the whole GCC ecosystem, what do you think are some of the hurdles that companies have to overcome while opening offices in India?
Okay, so I'll take your first question first. So,
Sure.
for us, I would say not so much hurdle, but there is a lead time, right? So you need to get your right space identified, your right set of people, and it is hard to start with the leadership team. So how we started, I was the first one to join, and then we relied on a vendor partner, and now we have built our leadership team. So I would say right now, more or less, the leadership team is ready, but for 1 or 2 people. So that journey is a lot of 20 hours and all of that, but it's a lot of fun also. So I don't think right now I would even remember all of that long tough days because we were creating. Um, the general challenge that most companies have faced is that overall ownership, overall acceptance. I think that's the biggest challenge that the GCC industry as a whole has faced. So if you look at 30 years back, it used to be GCCs were basically competing with the software services industry or the ITES basically. And the discussion that the GCC head would have with the global leadership is, okay, why you and why not another like a Wipro or a Cognizant or an Infosys? Their cost is lower than you. So you're basically competing with their services.
Okay.
I think that was the initial challenge. Secondly, at that time, it was also versus them. Because that integration didn't happen, it was versus them. Then the GCCs, I think, has taken a complete about turn. And what it became is because people realized this us versus them was not helping. So there was an attempt to functionally align 100%. So say the finance and the headquarters would have the entire team across all geographies with. So that kind of made the GCCs at that point as a second phase, I would say, as a, you can call it a co-works of the different organizations within the company, right? It was, so the GCC alignment was impacted at that stage. So in correcting the first stage problem, the second stage problem came up. It corrected what was the issue in the first stage, but that was also not ideal. I think right now, as an industry, we have struck a balance where it is that solid line, dotted line, there is, which is more, I mean, it's not compromising the GCC alignment. At the same time, it is not, there's an attempt not to compromise the alignment or the functional alignment. Having said that, it depends a lot on the intent. You can put all kinds of processes and policies, but it's the people who actually drive it. And I think that's where Standard has an advantage because culturally, it's a very, very people-focused organization. So the attempt from the very beginning, right when it was being set up, was to make it an extension of the organization. And it's not us versus them. It's not, decisions are jointly taken. And so that delegate. So I would say the problem so far, the hurdle so far has been more logistical than anything else. Whereas the erstwhile GCCs have actually taken that journey. And I always say that This is the advantage of coming up late, because we have learned from everyone else's experience, and we are trying to correct it from the very beginning. Because once you set it up in a certain way, it's very difficult to change. It's much easier to set it right the first time, like everything else. And that has been our goal. That has been the attempt.
So right now in India, you have in Pune and Bangalore, right?
Bangalore, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And Bangalore's recently started. I mean, you already started functioning.
Both started at the same time. See, yeah, both centers started functioning from 17th of November.
Okay.
2025. Because I don't know whether you know, I mean, we started off with the initial set of employees moving over from Allstate, because a part of Allstate business was bought over by the Standard. And we started with 170 people from Allstate. So we've grown from there. So we have been operational and working since, functioning as the Standard India from 17th of November.
Okay, got it. Just to touch upon the AI and data capabilities bit, of course, now companies are extensively using it. But can you tell me one real use case today where AI is making a measurable difference inside the business?
So I'll tell you one thing. I mean, because these are our USPs, I will not be able to talk about a specific use case. But what I would say is, in the Standard, we are, again, this has also been a deliberate attempt, that we never looked at the low hanging fruits, like, okay, this is so chatbots, etc., which is where most companies start. As the Standard hasn't started there. That's not where how AI has been looked at. So today, AI is looked at for processes, workflows of core insurance processes and workflows, which will actually fast track many of these, which are known to be very slow. Insurance industry was very, very, what can I say? I mean, either Excel-based actuarial functions or a lot of old technology. We are known as slow. We used to be known as in the technical space, but that's what we are addressing from it. So it is more looking at processes and workflows which would benefit more from automation. And then there is a lot of focus on the sustainability, the governance, and the human judgment, because the insurance industry also, it's very important to be empathetic, right? So too much of automation can take away that. We typically interact with people when they're only at their worst, going through some kind of life challenges, right? So too much of automation without the human touch will also impact. So there is always, our AI has a lot of focus on how to bring in the human judgment in the process changes or the automation that is being done.
Got it. And right now, your products and solutions are for US market, right? I mean, in India, it's not that?
No. It's only US. From a sales perspective, we are only in US, yes.
Okay. So just to come to the end of this conversation, Mohua, I just want to understand from your personal journey now. So looking back at it, what's that one belief about work or leadership that you had to completely change over time?
It's easy, because it was a complete IQ to EQ. As a person, when I started out my career, and like any one of us in India, right, we have a huge IQ when we go to school or when we grow up. Math becomes our core, right? So I, as an individual also, I had a huge focus on IQ. Later on in life, I have realized that as a leader, EQ far outshines IQ. I've worked with leaders myself whose empathy kind of made them the leader and made them get the best out of their teams. And I think that has been my biggest shift in my leadership journey, where my focus has shifted. And I can tell you that I have gained a lot more. I have evolved as a leader. I'm sure my team, I'm able to get a lot more out of my team because of that style change. And when I look back, this is a very distinct change that I have made, deliberate. And I have to say one thing that I gain most from it is this.
Good. That's a very lovely way to put it, Mohua. Thank you. Thank you so much for the time. This has truly been a good
Thank you. Thank you,
conversation.
Vandana. Lovely talking to you.